$3.74. Currently, prices are around $3.99, going up by 25 cents. Professor of economics at SUNY Oswego, Elizabeth Schmidt, says it's not just the threat of war and control of the Strait of Hormuz driving up prices. She says seasonal demand is playing a part too.
So there are seasonal changes to gasoline prices always because we do winter and spring formulations at the refinery that turns the oil into gasoline.
While different states are experiencing a pause or rise in gas prices, Dr. Schmidt says there's no doubt the ceasefire and whether the Strait of Hormuz has reopened or not is also causing volatility in the oil markets.
But the whole idea of the ceasefire is to open up the strait and the shipping lanes for energy and other things. Has that really happened? So it's not really clear that Iran has opened the strait. And it seems to be that Iran is still charging, tolls to let people safely through.
If gas prices continue to rise or even stay the same, it may leave people facing economic hardships. Schmidt says every day the strait stays closed, the longer consumers will feel the impact.
Some economists, some energy economists globally have said for every day that the strait is closed, you have a month of economic disruption.
During this time of uncertainty, using apps like Gas Buddy can be helpful in finding the lowest prices at different gas stations. I'm Suad Hamoud. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Soad. Emily, these temperatures have been all over the place recently, and it doesn't feel like spring just quite.
They certainly have been. I'm hoping the temperatures can just only get warmer from here. But let's turn it to our Oswego Now meteorologist, Dylan Ford.
Thank you, Emily. So looking at Oswego right now, it feels like 40 degrees, but it's 41 degrees in reality. It's raining, so make sure you bring out your umbrella as you do not want to get wet out there. Looking at Fulton, Pulaski, and Phoenix, it's all relatively the same. The sun is shining through and it's staying around that 50 level. Moving on to the current temperatures, we'll see here in Buffalo, it's at 48 degrees currently. Moving into central New York, we got Syracuse at 75. Plattsburgh is at 57. And you'll notice that Albany and New York at 70 and 63 have that icon next to them. That means that it's a dry spell right now and that you need to watch out for spreading fires. That's all from me. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Dylan. In Oswego County, lawmakers are considering a new animal abuse registry that would prevent convicted offenders from owning pets. The proposed law would require those found guilty of animal cruelty to register in a public database, helping shelters, breeders, and sellers identify and block adoptions. Supporters say the measure aims to stop repeat offenses and protect animals while also improving public safety. Critics, however, raise concerns about enforcement and effectiveness. If approved, Oswego County would join other regions adopting similar measures to crack down on animal abuse. A new leader is taking charge of one of Central New York's most important economic drivers.
Tom Drum has been named Executive Director and CEO of the Port of Oswego Authority, stepping into the role at just 33 years old. Our Jason Root has more on what his leadership could mean for the region.
Oswego plays a major role in the local economy, moving millions of tons of cargo each year and supporting thousands of jobs across central New York. Tom Drum is looking to build on that impact at a time when the region is expecting major industrial growth. The Micron project in Onondaga County could also rely on the port to transport materials and equipment. Drum says that the port is already in strong position, but there is room to grow.
It's my opinion that we have a competitive advantage, right? The port's capable of handling this project right now, but ideally, I would like to be able to scale up some of our infrastructure to be able to just be as best of a partner as possible for that project. But again, long term, strategically, to be a better partner, we need to modernize a little bit.
Working more closely with state leaders to secure funding and support. As fifth-generation Oswego native, he's focused to making sure that the port continues to grow alongside the region, especially with future projects on the horizon.
Strategically, it's going to be a big focus on really strengthening our relationship with the state legislature and strengthening our relationship with the governor's office and the state as a whole. We've had this relationship with the state throughout our history, particularly in in the 1960s when we saw a high level of state investment into the Port of Oswego. And as we move into this kind of next chapter of the Port of Oswego, with the Micron project, with our cornerstones like Novelis, with the potential of a new nuclear power plant that could be on the horizon for Oswego County, we want to have conversations with New York State about a reinvestment in the Port of Oswego.
The main priority is long-term growth, positioning the port as a key player in Central New York's economic future. Reporting in Oswego, I'm Jason Rude.
Drum takes over as the port continues to expand its role in regional development, with more projects expected in the coming years.
Coming up on Oswego Now, the first ever Hewitt Film Festival takes place at SUNY Oswego today.
And I'll have your full weather forecast coming up right after the break. Full weather forecast. I'm Dylan Ford. Let's get right into it. Looking at the Saturday planner, Saturday morning it's going to be cloudy. It's going to be around 37 degrees. Not too bad, but as we go later into the day, it's going to be 45 degrees and the sun will start to peek out behind the clouds. And going into the evening, all those clouds will be gone and we'll have a clear sky ahead. So make some plans on Saturday because going forward, we might be seeing some rain. As you can see here, we have a cold front with low pressure coming through, and that's going to lead to a lot of rain, as we'll see with today and going forward. Anyways, moving on to tonight at 5 o'clock, rain will continue up until 8. So like I said, it's just going to be kind of coming through. Make sure you pack an umbrella just to be safe. Transitioning into the low 40s as we go into 8 o'clock, there will be a light drizzle late into the night, 38 to 36 degrees throughout the rest of the night. Just make sure, like I said, you have an umbrella, maybe wear a sweatshirt, something to keep you dry and warm. Going into the 5-day forecast, we have Saturday where it is going to be a nice day. The sun is going to be peeking out from behind the clouds. It'll be 45 degrees, low of 33. But as you can see for the rest of the week, rain. April showers have truly come, but we will see that the temperature will be rising throughout most of the day, going from 56 to 62, 65, and 68. The lower temperatures will continue for a while. So like I said, you really need to make sure you have an umbrella. And this will continue even later into the week. And it's just going to be coming through with all this rain. And honestly, there's not much more you can do than packing that umbrella and making sure you're ready. But like we said, April showers do bring May flowers. So we're hoping that this will bring up some of that greenery that we love to see. Anyways, that's all for the full weather forecast. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Dylan. The first ever Hewitt Hall Film Festival is happening today from 5 to 8 p.m. with doors opening at 4:30 and will showcase a lineup of student-made films showcasing our student talent.
The event is presented by the Women in Entertainment Club and the Oswego Film Club and is free and open to all who want to attend. Let's send it over to our Oswego Now reporter, Alejandra Dickens.
Thanks, Mike and Emily. We're here at the first Hewitt Hall Film Festival, where before the film festival, the Women in Entertainment Club hosted 2 guest speakers, Victoria Diana and Micah Khan, who are filmmakers who have collaborated on several recent projects, including the indie TV pilot books and the vampire thriller short Stakeout. Khan has directed over 30 short films. He also won Robert Rodriguez's People Network Showcase contest and participated in the Mentorship Matters Biopic Writers Initiative under Scott Reynolds, the producer of Dexter.
I helped come up with the idea, and essentially, it's in honor of Hewitt opening, which is a building catered towards our fine arts majors, not fine arts, but visual arts, communication studies, film. I wanted it to be an opportunity to inspire people to collaborate with one another, make films, hopefully make things that they'd want to submit to other festivals and just get their work out there and network.
Diana is a producer, writer, and a stand-up comedian performing alongside comedians like Matt Richards. She has worked on projects like Second Coming, which premiered at Kevin Smith's Small Castle Film Festival. After the talks, the film festival will begin right now, and make sure to make your way here in Hewitt Hall. Back to the desk. Thank you.
Thank you, Alejandra. April marks Autism Awareness Month, a time to recognize individuals on the autism spectrum and the importance of inclusion. Notably, the Irish Outrun Autism 5K is an annual event put on by the Oswego Autism Task Force. Race Director Julie Chetney created the task force over 20 years ago to support families of children with autism in Oswego. She says that inclusion doesn't just benefit people living with autism, but people of all abilities.
The benefit is as great for those students who do not have a diagnosis as it is for the students who do, because there's so much learning that goes on between these two groups of people. So the students who are possibly have some developmental delays learn from the students who do not, and learn to model a lot of their characteristics and the personalities, all the things.
The Blue Envelope program was also adopted by the Sheriff Department. This helps officers recognize people with autism during traffic stops and ease anxiety.
When we're right back, we highlight a SUNY Oswego student featured in the new Hulu film, Pizza Movie.
And I talked to the director of the Laker Hacks Hackathon on their first Oswego Global Hackathon. Welcome back to Oswego Now. It's the #1 movie on Hulu this week. American High's Pizza Movie is celebrating a successful release. Shot in Syracuse, the film also features a handful of SUNY Oswego students and 315 natives.
I met up with SUNY Oswego senior Gavin Smith of Liverpool for a slice and to talk about what it was like being a piece of the action.
So I'd say the most memorable moments while filming the Pizza Movie were definitely just meeting lots of people. There's so many faces, so many people being met. American High definitely is a staple in Liverpool, and it's great to see them stretch around Syracuse and shoot something big and hit the big leagues.
While it isn't in theaters, Pizza Movie is still streaming on Hulu and Disney+. Imagine building an app, solving real-world problems, and competing with aspiring engineers all in one weekend.
That's exactly what's happening at SUNY Oswego's annual Laker Hacks Hackathon. I spoke with Joseph Vega, one of the organizers of the event, to learn a bit more about how it all comes together and what students can expect. Thanks so much, guys. I'm here with the director of this year's Laker Hacks event. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll get right into it. What exactly is a hackathon?
Well, a hackathon is a digital coding competition. Any sort of digital competition, students are welcome to make any sort of digital project, such as an app, a website, a game, and we offer prizes and rewards to the best project in that sense.
All right, and what has it been like sort of obtaining sponsorships for this event, and how impactful have these sponsorships been in organizing the event and getting some funding for it?
Yeah, so obtaining sponsorships, the process has been, we are partnered with MLH, which is Major League Hacking Organization. They are the global community that helps schools like us host our own hackathon. Through them, they recommended we reach out to sponsors through emails, making a sponsored deck, and through that we were able to get one of our biggest sponsors, Micron. They're supporting Engineering Week, and some of their funding is coming to us for that. So a big thank you to Micron.
And talk me through the process of setting up and organizing an event of this nature and just how much work goes into it.
So we have been planning this event since like a year ago today. Last year was our first year hosting it. It was private to our school only. But this year we put our application through with MLH. We got accepted to be a global hackathon. So all students and anyone really over 18 is welcome to come to our school. We have people coming from other colleges, other countries flying over. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, and what are some of your goals for this event long term, whether for this year or the future, and what do you hope for attendance to gain from this event?
Well, I want our goals to be everyone should register for Laker Hacks because we are going to have over $3,000 in prizes. We're going to give out free food and merch, and it's a great way for students to create project-based experience to show off on their resume. Through several of our sponsors, you can meet them directly in person and gain job opportunities such as internships and different programs, full-time positions when you graduate. So I'm hoping people come and get to experience all of that themselves.
And you said this is only the second year. What are you trying to build on from all the success you guys had last year with your hackathon?
So this year we are officially public, so it's a global hackathon. We have doubled our funding. we have reached out to get several other companies to sponsor, such as NordVPN. They're hosting their own private track for to offer the winning team a 1-year subscription to 6 of their products. Yeah.
All right, well, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining me, Joseph. Back to you guys at the desk. The hackathon is set to take place on Saturday, April 18th and Sunday, April 19th here at SUNY Oswego. For more information about registration and the event, visit oswegonow.net. Coming up, a major milestone that you don't hear every day for an Oswego woman.
And big news for a big college basketball program and a moving story from a local baseball player here at home. My full sports report next, right here on Oswego Now. Welcome back to Oswego Now with your sports report for tonight. I'm Eddie McAlpine. Our top headline this evening, the Fulton native who stood out in the national spotlight has announced that he will be committing to Syracuse. After entering the transfer portal on March 25th, Gavin Doty officially announced his commitment to Syracuse the day the portal opened, taking to his Instagram to share his decision. Doty spent his high school years just down the road in Fulton, scoring over 1,000 points across his 3 seasons. Doty's decision comes after his head coach at Siena, Jerry McNamara, was hired as the new head coach at Syracuse on March 24th, the day before Doty announced he would be transferring. The Siena standout was coming off a stellar sophomore season, averaging 18 points and 7 rebounds per game, leading the Saints to an NCAA tournament berth as a 16 seed. The 6'5", 190-pound guard returns back to the 3-1-5, and Syracuse basketball has been drawing attention early in the offseason. His former coach at Fulton speaking out.
Gavin's going to be a big name in college basketball for a long time, and right here in this gym, I've had a front row seat to watch Gavin as a young grade schooler playing in our youth knee-high basketball program. His mom was a coach. His uncle has the court named after him.
Along with bringing in Doty, Syracuse is returning 2 key freshmen from last season, Kyan Anthony and Sadiq White, establishing a strong core for the Orange. Another first-year collegiate athlete making headlines tonight, Oswego State outfielder Devin Trevisini and his journey to the baseball roster. It wasn't just about talent, it was overcoming adversity too. After battling learning challenges in the classroom and working his way up on the field, he's now facing another obstacle before his college career can even begin. Oswego Now's Parker Vore.
For Devin Trevisani, the journey to the SUNY Oswego baseball roster wasn't just about talent. It was about learning how to work around the odds. Growing up with a learning disability, he found his confidence on the diamond where he couldn't find it at the desk.
I never felt confident in the classroom, but I felt so confident in the field. I used to always be ashamed about that, but with maturity, it just shows that growing up, you should be proud of who you are.
That solution-oriented mindset helped transform him from what he calls a baby giraffe into a varsity standout. But just 2 weeks into his freshman year, the dream hit a wall. Trevisani suffered a back injury that he tried to play through so he could earn his stripes on the team.
It felt like a bunch of knives in my back. And at that time I was using, it's called Atomic Bomb. It's this muscle rub that literally numbs everything out. And I still felt the injury through the muscle cream. And I would be calling my parents crying after practice because I was in so much pain.
By March, the denial ended. An MRI revealed a stress fracture in his back, putting baseball on hold. For an athlete who had worked his entire life for this opportunity, missing his freshman season was a devastating blow.
It's like telling a racehorse to stop racing. It takes away lifting and hitting for me as a college athlete. That's all I do. But I really feel so optimistic about it now. I go in next year with freshman eligibility and with the experience of a sophomore.
Devin is now finding a new rhythm, trading the bat for the paddle and leaning on his faith to stay grounded. And when he does return, he won't just be ready to play. He'll be ready to prove just how far he's come. Parker Voris, Oswego Now.
Trevisani says he'll continue his rehab during the season and hopes to return fully healthy for next year. As for the Lakers, they are off to a 12-1 start with an 8-1 conference record, including a doubleheader against the New Paltz Hawks tomorrow. So, Mike and Emily, we've got a lot of baseball to watch tomorrow.
That's right, Eddie, we do. I mean, honestly, maybe we could get pizza after. Mike, what's your go-to slice?
Emily, go-to slice has got to be chicken bacon ranch. How about you?
I'm good with a good old-fashioned pepperoni. And in terms of things that are a bit old-fashioned, there's not many people that make it to 100 years old in their life. But Pontiac Care Rehabilitation resident Doris Latinen is officially a century old today.
Doris held a small birthday party with her daughter today to celebrate, and we here at Oswego Now would like to wish her a very happy 100th birthday. That's all for our report tonight. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night.